Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition. We made it to the final day of the virtual Cerebral Palsy Conference. Thank y'all so much for having us. We're so happy to be here with you. I'm DJ Carter. I got Marie over here to my left or my right, as the camera may show in different vice versa type of ways. How you doing, Marie?
Good today. I wasn't here, but I heard and went back and played some of the show, and that woman Taiwan was spectacular.
Woo, Lord, Hummer, I about came up out my chair. That woman got it, and she's got it well. All the guests were great. I mean, it's been a great conference all the way around. Our CEO and founder will be with us shortly. She needs just a few minutes, so you get to deal with our wonderful faces for a little bit, and we're gonna talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about self-care and taking care of you, but we're also going to talk about the marvelous job that Edwina Wilson has done in putting this conference together and allowing these voices to be heard. And, every year I say what a joy it is to do this conference. But I'm going to tell you guys, the work that she puts in, the work that she does behind the scenes, to get these flyers and to get these guests on and to get everything lined up and to get it going left and right, that takes time and effort. And that when you've got a team that can help you just like this, it helps her. But she works herself to the bone. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Hey, Nikki, how are you? She works herself to the bone. And I'm gonna tell you what, Edwina Wilson has done one heck of a job. I would say something else, but I'm trying to keep it clean. So we love her to death, and she is such a powerful individual and such a visionary, as her tag says. And she always has used her voice and her platform to allow our voices to be heard. So a big giant thank you to Edwina Wilson and all that she has done for this conference and for the people that have come on. And you said it, Marie. I'm going to tell you, Miss Williams was off the hook yesterday. I went and watched the replay, and I've watched a lot of replays. As a matter of fact, I've watched all of the replays, to tell you the truth, because yesterday I had a reoccurring injury and my side acted up again, so I wasn't able to be here. But I'm doing much better today. We figured out what the issue was, and it was in between my rib. There's a little pocket, so there was it's like almost like a pocket of air that had to pop.
Oh, yeah.
And it just hurts when you breathe and hurts when you move. And but I was able to biofreeze it, myoflex it, and then once I got out of the shower, I was able to stand up enough to pop the side of my hip, and that was what it needed. So, but it was up near my rib cage.
I wasn't here because I had the doctor's appointment, so
Yeah.
we're both sorry we couldn't be here. Now, I only saw 2 interviews. I saw Twanda's and Deborah's, but were there others? I didn't see others on there yet.
Those were the 2 that I saw, and it may be that Miss Winnie is working on getting those up. But I will tell you, it's just been phenomenal. Let's talk a little bit about safe self-care. Now, I want to mention this because I think a lot of people with a disability or not, but with a disability especially, I've noticed we push ourselves to the limit, and the caregivers push themselves to the limit. But Miss Winnie has always said, and I've always said, you've got to take care of you first, because if you don't take care of you and you don't give yourself time to recuperate and regenerate and let yourself rest and let your body heal, you ain't gonna take care of nobody.
No, and it's not just physical either. It's mental. I think what people forget is that the physical is easy to feel. It's easy to like say, "Oh, my legs aren't working this today," or "My back's not working today because I pulled something." But and we it's visible to people and people see that, but it's also the mental part too. I mean, the mental part is invisible and we only see it within ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and we
That's
need
true.
to take care of that.
Well, and I think, touching on the two parts, there's actually three parts to this. And you've got to be careful with the word disability, because some things in within disability or differently abled are unseen. It's the unseen disability that you can't see on the outside, but it's on the inside, like diabetes, like uh, PTSD,
Heart,
like a heart condition. Hmm. All of those, see, all of this ties into self care. One of the most spectacular men on the planet that I've had the pleasure of knowing through all of my martial arts journey, Clifton Whitaker, is he's starting to get up there in age a little bit, and he talks about it. He said, the funny part about it is I have to take care of myself. I have to train differently. I have to manage differently. You talked about the mental part, Marie. That mental part will break you down so fast.
oh my God, yes. And then,
If, if you don't take when you get stressed out and when you start carrying when you start asking or start getting stressed and it all starts compiling into this big ball, and you don't take care of the little pieces, those little pieces start adding up. Hey, Cindy, hope you're doing well. Glad to see you. I just, and I think people take the mental stuff like, it's nothing. I'll be okay tomorrow. you kind of you kind of push those little nagging injuries aside, like it'll be better. I can push through it, and it's good to push through, and it's good to push through a lot of times. But when it comes to little stuff in your health, there are things you got to watch for: overactive or overtired, being overtired. What kind of sleep are you getting? Have you been tested for sleep apnea? My wife pointed something out uh, 2 days ago, and it scared the living bejesus out of me. I'd never heard it, never knew it. She said, DJ, she said, hey, Crystal, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. She said, DJ, she said, when you were sleeping last night, it sounded like you were gasping for air. She said, I want you to get tested for sleep apnea. Now, I've never known that I've gasped for air, but two people now have told me that, and I've heard my roommate do it, and I said, you know what? You need to get tested. But looking at myself, you have to evaluate everything about you and how your life is on a day-to-day level, and things change. If you don't get tested and you don't get things aligned to where you're getting good sleep, eating properly, you've got to eat properly. You've got to make sure that you're getting enough water. It is tough enough. You can get dehydrated if you're just quenching your thirst.
and can I sneak in here for a second?
Sure.
I know with me, when my mental state or my physical state, especially my mental state, like if I have so much on my mind, so much on my mind to do and whatnot, my CP is thrown into whack because I'm not paying attention to anything but what's on my mind, and I fall just because I'm not paying attention, or I get the weeble wobbles because I'm not paying attention, and I think narrowing it down to cerebral palsy, because that's what we're here to talk about, is that we have to make sure that our physical and mental state are okay, because we don't want to whack that CP out of line and wind up falling because we're not thinking correctly or we're not dieting correctly. I know when there's a big fluctuation in my weight gaining or losing weight,
Mm-hmm.
my CP's all off.
Well, and what you're talking about there, you mentioned two things that I kind of want to touch on. I don't think a lot of people know, unless you have cerebral palsy, the mental tact that it takes and the mental strain that it takes, because we have to, whether we realize it or not, because we're used to it, we have to concentrate all the time, especially if we're trying to walk or trying to get somewhere and we're not flat-footed when we walk on our toes. Some of the toe walkers that we have, some of the people that walk on their heels instead of the arches of their feet, you got to concentrate all the time. And 1 second, when you spasm, boom, it throws everything else, goes, oh God, and your brain has to kind of catch up for a second. It's like, what's going on? Why are we flipping out? It's like a dolphin kind of floundering or a fish floundering on the shore trying to get in the water. It takes that 1 second, and anything can cause that startle reflex, and that's what we have. And people wonder why some of us don't drive. That startle reflex can happen from anything: a sound, a tight muscle, somebody cutting us off on the middle of the road, stress. Those startle reflexes can mess you up. Now, the other thing you talked about is with CP, gaining and losing weight. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go on record as say I was up to 253 pounds. I'd started getting way back up there because of the pandemic and because of the eating habits that I was doing and because of drinking 4 or 5 of these a day. I was drinking 4 or 5. And I went to the doctor and I'm like, what is going on? And I knew what I was doing. I had to kind of reevaluate my life and go, all right, big boy, you got to slow down and you got to start evaluating yourself. So I cut out all beef. I'm basically doing all chicken, all fish, and I'm doing not much frying, nothing like that. I decided to make a change for myself. I decided to make a change within my diet because I want to lose weight. You have to want it to get it done. And I think when you gain weight with CP, it's hard to move. We've already got the muscle problems and tightness. So on top of all that, you start gaining weight. It's like, what do I do now? I'm putting on size 44 pants, 46 pants. I'm like, why are these tight? So I've been on this diet for a month. I've lost 21 pounds on this diet that I've been on.
Good, DJ.
But that's because it's a mental mentality. It's a mental mentality. I had lost 18 pounds when I went to the doctor, and she said, you look like you've lost weight. I can tell. And inside I'm going, because they can tell. That feels good for somebody to tell you, man, you look good. I could not wear this shirt 2 months ago. This shirt is tight right now, but I want to get to where it's loose, because it's important for me and it's important for all of us to evaluate our personal health. If you know somebody that is struggling with weight gain, if you know somebody, and this is all part of personal care, people, and we got to understand, we want to help, not hurt. We want to help, not hurt.
And another thing to mention is, because my big thing with CP is mental health because I've had issues with it in the past, and I'm not afraid to say I'm gonna have issues with the rest of my life. But someone I was talking to another friend of mine with CP, and I said maybe you should go see someone,
Mhm.
and she said, why should I go see someone? They don't understand cerebral palsy. Why should go see someone? And I'm thinking, you're not going to see someone just for cerebral palsy. You're going to see someone to clear out the cobwebs in your head. And by clearing out the cobwebs in your head, you could deal with your cerebral palsy.
Right.
No, whether we have cerebral palsy or not, we're still a human being with the same feelings that an able-bodied person has.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's amazing when you mention something, I'm right behind it. There's a lady that I reach out to every now and then. Her name is Maritza, Maritza Bavino, I believe it is, or Agano. She is a psychologist. And this lady, we did a show together. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we hammered mental health, and we hammered the brain, and CP, and how it's important to seek counseling. I think everybody should have a counselor in the world, and I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because look, we all need someone to talk to. Okay.
That isn't involved in our inner circle. That is
Yeah, I believe.
friend.
Yeah, I believe that we should have somebody that we trust, like Marie said, that's on the outside, that you talk to. But see, now here's the problem that a lot of people have with counseling. Hey, Kyle, you're awesome, brother. Have a great day yourself. Um, a lot of people have trouble being honest with themselves. And when you cannot be honest with yourself, it's very difficult to be honest with a counselor, because we put walls up. And a lot of people that have CP fight depression, they fight anxiety, they fight PTSD. Like I said, they want to fit in, they feel inferior, they feel small, because there's not a lot of people, unless you know someone that truly has it or has had it or deals with it. It's tough to understand a disability. You can do all the research you want, but until you've had it or until you've gone through it, you can't understand it in full.
And one,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. Mhm.
And one of my issues is like what DJ said, is to let down my walls, and to let some stranger into my feelings. But you know what?
Mhm.
Over the years, I've had several different talking doctors. I would say talking doctors or LSWs. Sometimes you just need a person to go talk to, and an LSW is the perfect person to go talk to. It has nothing to do with, oh my god, am I that insane or whatever that I need to be on drugs? No, sometimes it's just a third person you need to talk to, and it's hard for me to get to open up, but you know what she makes me do? Is that she makes me write that, like, I see her on the Monday. Though during the rest of the week, I have to journal my feelings. And I bring that journal with me and read it word from word. My LSW now had no idea about cerebral palsy, but as soon as I went to her, and as soon as I told her what cerebral palsy was, as part of her job, she went home and researched cerebral palsy a little. And then because I'm very open about my CP, she'll learn it from me. So don't be afraid if you find a wonderful LSW, they'll go home and do their homework and research it.
What did you say the LSW stood for there, Marie? I couldn't.
Um, licensed social worker.
Okay. And here's the other thing. Writing your feelings down is a great way to get them out. Okay? Because a lot of people, some people can only talk about their feelings once they get them out on paper. Because they're still trying to process what they're writing. And see, here's the thing. It doesn't mean that you're mentally insane or there's something mentally wrong with you if you have to talk to somebody. Okay? When you're able to talk to somebody that is a licensed professional about something that you're dealing with, one of two things are going to happen. They're going to recommend you to somebody that can help you further, or they're going to listen to your problem. They're going to give you an idea. Just like Marie said, you get a journal and you start writing stuff down and you go, whoa. And you reread it and you go, whoa, where was that? What, and you process your own thought.
And even if after you write it down, even if you want to burn it after you write it down and say, okay, I got those feelings out of me, let's burn it in the fireplace.
But here's the problem with that. And that's a good idea. I wouldn't recommend ever burning them. And I'm going to tell you why.
Neither.
I'm going to tell you why. Your feelings are important. And when you burn something that you wrote down that came from you, you're burning part of yourself. And you're learning and letting something burn away that you may need to talk about further. But when you shut it down or when you burn it and it's gone, you think, oh, I've dealt with it. I don't have to think about it anymore. So
no, because that's like shutting a door in your mind and saying I don't want to ever open the door again. And that's what I did all my life, and now I'm paying for it because I'm out on my own and I'm thinking about stuff that I've done in the past or feelings that I've had in the past, and it's stopping me from moving on, and I don't want that.
Do you know how anxiety start? Do you know how problems start?
Yeah.
They start like this.
Minute.
Very minute.
Like a breadcrumb.
But you ever get something in the bottom of your shoe and you're walking? Yeah. One stupid little pebble, and you're walking and you're stopping and you're like, what the heck is in my shoe? And you're taking your shoe off and you're pounding it, trying to get the pebble out, and you're taking your sock off, and that sucker gets embedded in your sock down by your toe, and you're reaching in there trying. I'm like, what the world? And my friend's like, there's nothing in your shoe. I'm like, dude, take off my sock. He's like, what? I said, take off my sock. I don't want to take off your sock. I said, look, I got something in the bottom of my sock. Just take off my sock. So he takes off my sock. I turn that bad boy inside out. I almost said something else. I turn it inside out, and you feel across the thread, and you find this one little toenail that broke off, this little section of toenail, this sharp, little hard section. And I'm like, you little piece of minute. That's what she's talking about. It starts right there. But if you get a cut on your foot, or you get a cut on your hand, or you get a cut somewhere, and it's a minute little cut, and you don't take care of it, an infection sets in, eventually it'll take you down.
And that's a great analogy. And just realize how much cuts on your heart you have. Like from
And that's the other thing. Because we're hitting so many things about self-care. When you don't get your physical and you don't talk to somebody and you hold it in and you keep burying it and you keep burying it and you keep burying it, I'll tell you what, your heart is your brain is the nerve center, but your heart is the control box. Okay. So think about it this way. And I'm going to say this just so you guys understand. Everything routes down here to your ticker. Everything. Your heart is a muscle, and it pumps blood throughout your entire body. Your brain and your heart work all the time. All the time. It's and it's just pumping, and it's just working. And your brain is just factorizing in all this stuff. Your brain is factorizing in everything that's going on, and you don't get seen, and you hold stuff in. So your heart picks up, and you get used to that rhythm. And at first, it's a little fluctuation. You're like, something is off. Something don't feel right. I'll be all right. And you get madder. Okay, you leave that little grain of sand or that little grain of toenail in your sock, and it keeps getting faster, and you keep getting madder. You start snapping at people. You're snapping at everybody. You're just compiling it down, and sooner or later, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Boom.
And that's especially with me. I do that a lot, and I know everyone, and I know a lot of people in the CP community have high frustration levels. And if you keep doing that to yourself, your frustration level is just gonna pop like a soda bottle one day, and you're gonna do something you don't want to do.
Well, the frustration, going back to that, when you get frustrated, your body gets tight.
Yep.
Your body gets tight, and you start holding and I just want to take it, and I just want to grab it, and I just want to rip it to pieces. But when you do that, you get your blood pressure goes, it goes through the roof.
Yep.
You ever go to the doctor and you get nervous and you've never had high blood pressure before, but you go to the doctor, but I remember I went to the doctor. He goes, "Is your blood pressure normally this high?" I said, "Hi, what's wrong? What happened? Oh my God." He said, "Your blood pressure 135 over." I said, "Oh Lord Jesus." I don't, and you're freaking out, and they ain't even said nothing yet. Imagine that before you go in, and your body's like this, and you're just tight, and that blood pressure your heart, a person's heart. I legitimately saw this, and it was one of the scariest moments of my life. I literally saw a person's heart explode because they just held themselves like this, and they just held everything in, and they went to the doctor, and they sat down on the table. He took his blood pressure, and it was over almost 300, and he just shut down.
And like what we have been talking about all week, I think Kyle and Christine talked about working out.
Mm-hmm.
Working out is one of the best things to get your frustration a mental level up, but also get your physical activity. And one thing I've been doing for a year now, maybe a little over a year, is meditation. I listen to this app called Insight Timer every day, whether it's 2 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, an hour a day, is the most calming thing to do. It calms my body, it calms my physical and mental state so well.
You talked about, listening to something that calms your mental state. When I get stressed, since you just came in, when I get real stressed and I'm like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, and I'm thinking about this, I call this lady right over here.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean,
To
and,
be a lesson,
that that
you're
that
trained with a CP person in mind.
she is and that she has the ability to tone it way up or tone it way down, and she can I think she can sense, either when I'm gonna call, because she'll say, I was just getting ready to call you. I was I just but having that outlet, don't hold stuff in. It's so dangerous when you hold things in and you don't talk to people and you don't get seen regularly by a doctor and you don't do the things that you need to do. Our bodies are important. They've got to last 80 to 90 years on this planet that we're on. But if we don't take care of ourselves and we don't, take this self-care important and we don't make this an important part of our journey, we're not going to take care of anybody else because we're not going to be around to do it.
And we're coming off a year of, oh my god, we've been stuck in the house. And now, hopefully in a couple months or so, we could go back to reality and get outside the house and hang out with people. Who knows where reality's gonna be, but at least we're gonna get outside and hang out with people. But mentally, this year has been tough, from the spiders on the floor to the big guy up in heaven. The world has been a mental disaster.
We've had to adapt. We've had to learn how to function because when we're told to stay in the house, all we want to do is go outside.
Yes.
When we're told to go outside and play, all we want to do is come back in the house because we're people of don't tell me what to do. I
Yeah.
don't want to wear no mask. I can't breathe in it. If it's gonna save your life, wear a mask down, shut up, deal with it.
Yeah.
If everybody would have worn a mask to start with, and everybody would have taken this seriously to start with, and everybody would have practiced social distancing 6 feet apart to start with, we wouldn't be where we are right now. I'm just saying. With that being said,
Here's our gracious host and supporter and all around wonderful woman, Miss Awida.
Hey y'all,
hey,
y'all don't believe what just happened.
uh-oh.
So I said, give me a few minutes, right?
Mhm.
And I'm listening to you all, and all of a sudden I didn't hear any sound. I came to look at my computer and with my laptop, and it was dead. And I said, Lord, I hope they still going. I hope they still going. So of course, like I said, I was just drained yesterday. So I went to my bag and my cord was not in my bag. I had to run to my office to get my cord, which was still plugged up.
I heard the little doo when your computer said doo. Please plug in your charger before your computer dies. I said, we might as well go because it's going to be 1 minute because you needed 7. And when I saw your screen would go black, I said, yep, that's what happened.
Yeah, so I had to grab. I said, "Oh my goodness!" I threw some shoes on. I had to grab because I had my slippers on, and I had to run to my office real quick, get my cord, and run back home, plug it up, and wait for it to charge. I was like, you know what? Some things you can't get mad about, or angry about or upset about. If it's fixable, fix it. Fix it. So in life, we got to learn not to get mad or upset or angry about small things that we know is fixable.
That's
And that's
just what we talk.
whether you're disabled or not disabled, it's just life in general.
And I think what this year has taught all of us during the pandemic is not to stress over the small things.
Yes, yes, absolutely, Marie. And at one point I would have been like, God dang it, and I'm like,
Running around trying to.
yeah, girl, just go to the office, get your cord, and come back home. That's it.
We just
My office close by 5 minutes.
we just talked about you ever been walking, Miss? Well, I know you've been walking, but you ever been walking, Miss Winnie, and you get something in your shoe, and it's a little something, you feel it,
And you just stick your foot, yeah.
God dang, what is this? And you stop, and you take your shoe out, and you shake your shoe, and you can't find it, so you feel it on your shoe. Then next thing you know, it's like, well, it's got to be in my sock. You take your sock out, and you got to turn that bad boy inside out, and you find this little tiny piece of something. The smallest thing can be an irritant, but if you don't address it and if you don't deal with it, you know what you did? I'm going to take a step back. Okay, it's dead. I'm going to go get my cord. I'm going to plug it up. I'm going to fix the problem.
Yeah, that's it.
I used to be.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Our guest is here because I had to come back and I had to send her the link. So let's jump right on in because our guest is here. Okay, so let's bring Neha to the platform. And hello, Neha. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm so glad. I've been watching your journey. You just been rising up, sweetheart. And I'm just excited to have you come on and share with everyone empowerment and confidence. Empowerment and confidence. So let me ask you, because I know some people like us to stay here. Some people just want us to disappear and go to the basement and you just have the whole platform. What is your choice?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, if you want this to be a conversation or if you want me to be having the spotlight for a little bit and then you guys come back.
Okay, I was getting ready to say, I'm going to let you have the spotlight and then we'll come back and we'll just, kind of mingle in with you because you're talking about empowerment and confidence. So we're going to let that confidence stand alone for a while, okay?
All right.
All right, dear. We'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Neha. I have CP, quadriplegic CP, and I'm here to talk about what it's like to be empowered and what it's like to have confidence and my journey with all of that. So why I wanted to be here to talk about this today is because we are all in this situation where sometimes we don't have the confidence, especially nowadays in our own homes and our own shelves, that we
Neha,
right
Neha,
now.
let me interrupt for a little bit. Can you pull your computer back? I mean,
It is
Neha.
It's gonna be a good thing to kind of get out of the shell and explore your wings, even though you're maybe in quarantine, maybe not in quarantine. I mean, we're getting back to our new normal soon. But been, I have been speaking. I'm an author of a book called Brave Soul, and I'm a recent graduate of college. So I've been doing a lot in these quarantine and spreading my own wings. So I want you guys to know that you can spread your own wings and empower yourself, because it does take a village or people behind you to also be empowered, and whatever you're doing, sitting from home or going out in the community, or doing what you gotta do, just do it, because you're doing your own pathways. You're building your own pathways to your own um goals and your own accomplishments, and you're breaking barriers. So you're either walking, rolling, or whatever device you use, whatever wheelchair. Nowadays there's so many wheelchairs out there that you can do your independent livings with, and you can be more independent and more open. So I want you guys to, I know it's hard right now, but I know some ways to get out your story out there. As I'm zooming today, so you can do Zoom. You can also write a post either on some social media platform. You can be a writer for some um writing companies or some writing online disability platforms. So yeah, it's been a journey for me, and I've been stomping on CP, or as they say, I've been brave enough to kind of stomp on CP by rolling, by my own confidence. So yeah, so that's my whole story I have today for you guys, and I want you guys to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help when you need it. It's okay to have the village behind you. It's okay to get your voice heard. That's what I'm trying to do today, is to get my own voice heard, and to show you guys that disability or having cerebral palsy is not a is not you can do other stuff too. You can be in a wheelchair, but you can go to your own goals and master your own goals. I mean, it might take time, but you can do whatever you want with them. So, yeah. Thank you. And I know we have a little bit of questions, or we can conversate right now, but yeah, that's all I had.
Hey, Neha, thank you. Thank you. Now I see your beautiful face. I was trying to get you to kind of get in the camera a little bit more, but we see your beautiful face now. So, awesome, awesome, awesome. I like how you just went straight on in. And you know what you said was, let your voice be heard. So being as though you was ready to let your voice be heard, you came with empowerment and confidence. That's confidence. You just spoke that thing out and just let everybody know this is what you do. So congratulations on your accomplishments as well. Congratulations. I know I said it before, but I just, saying it loud, you hear and you bringing it on. Do you want to share with everyone what that accomplishment you was?
So, hi everyone, nice to meet you guys too. Hi Marie, hi D.
I've been watching. I've been watching your journey for a couple years. I just love it. I just love how you're so positive, and I mean you're just so amazing to watch.
Thank
Yes.
you, Marie. Um, So yeah, I have been doing a lot over the years. I've been on with Miss Wilson too on her radio shows and um on her podcast or with the Kelly Choice radio show when you did that. But this is actually my first time actually speaking at the CP Summit. So it's actually my first time speaking here. So I thank you guys to having given me this opportunity to come on and spread my wings a little more.
Spread the wings, honey. Spread them.
So yeah, I've been recently a college graduate with highest honors.
What'd you graduate in? What'd you get for a
Hold on, Marie. She get ready to tell about it. That's why I asked her. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, girl. Bring it on. Bring it on.
With
Let-
highest honors, and I have I'm I degree my major is in networking and security, so in computers, and yeah, I'm looking for a um work at home opportunity or a job right now. So I've been doing a lot of assistive technology evaluations because of my disability, and that's what I wanted you guys to have today. Is you have to go through testing to have your well-being and to be more productive in the professional world too. Um, so, and I'm also a life coach now, as of 7 months ago. So, yeah. And I also have CP, quadriplegic CP. So, it's been a journey.
Where'd you get your outgoingness from? Is your family very supportive of you? They must be.
Yes, they are.
Yes, that's awesome. I was like Marie as well. You know, I've been following you for a long time, and I'm just so proud of all the accomplishments that you have, you know, conquered, and not allowing your CP slash and or different abilities to stop you from doing the things that you so desire to do and want to do. So we all need more of that in our daily lives. Yes. Go ahead, DJ and Marie. Someone's at my door.
I want to say this, just on what you spoke on with, being empowered and confidence. When you deliver your message, that is confidence in itself. Now, you said something that is very important about it takes a village and to have the support behind you. That is something that the founder of this conference says all of the time. And just what you came with. I mean, it's your story is phenomenal to be able to do what you do and to keep striving and keep being as dedicated as you are. And I think in the world of security and all of that and what you're going through, I think it takes dedication itself to stay on the path that you're on. So congratulations on that. What brought you to the realization that you wanted to be in that field? What made you want to go into it?
When I, when I was little, actually, I liked computers, and I used to type in Word with my hands and kind of play around. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started realizing if I use this in my daily life to do my wheelchairs, by the time I got it into college or by the time I finished high school, I had the opportunity to use them in my wheelchairs because now I have a standing wheelchair. which I'm not in right now, but I do have a standing wheelchair that has all these capabilities and technology to stand up, and to do my daily life and and to be more productive in my daily life. So
Mhm.
that has um broadened me to the realization that if I need computers in my education life, versus my daily life, the technology would be good for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that, and it's all in the way you look at it too, because you said it yourself. You know, you can do anything you want to, and letting your voice be heard. I think that's with some of us, and some of us that have a disability. It seems so daunting to take that first step and to really go through, you know, the trials and tribulations to fight and get there. So congratulations on doing that and graduating with highest honors. That's tough.
That's
That's tough. I mean, you gotta have your nose in the to the grindstone and your eyes in the books all the time. Whew, that's a job and a half. So congratulations right there, and that shows that you can do anything you put your mind to.
Yes,
Thank you for sharing that.
you're welcome.
Do you ever get the opportunity to talk to like a class of people about your disability?
Yes, I'm actually doing that a lot more. I'm talking to schools, and I'm doing that a lot more since I have time now, because for the last 4 years I've been in college, but just 2 months ago I finished, and it was just recently in this pandemic, so it was kind of hard, but I did it, so that's all it counts for. And yes, I've been talking to schools and talking to uh Miss Wilson's show and doing other podcasts over the years. But yeah,
Do
How
you have
did
your own podcast? Have you ever thought of starting your own podcast?
I actually do have a podcast. I have a book. I have an advocacy page for CP. It's called CP Smile for Niha. Marie, I think you have seen it.
Yeah, I've seen him many times.
Go, go.
I understand why it's called CP Smile. You have a wonderful smile and a wonderful positive outlook on life. And do you ever get down?
I do. Like all do. But I don't let it show.
That's great.
you
Yes, yes,
your,
that's
your
it.
your smile is wonderful. You have this big bright smile. It's like I love it.
Trying to go with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I actually wanted to ask you, how did you get into being a life coach? How did that happen?
Um, Actually, there is this family on these Facebook community outreaches for CP, and she reached out to me and said, "You should become a life coach." And she's also a life coach. Her name is Jennifer. She lives by me. Um, her her son is in a wheelchair and has is nonverbal. So she's seen me popping around and posting on the different disability platforms on Facebook, and so and going on my lives for my CP Smile for Nia journey, and going on my YouTube channel. So she 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 messaged me one day and said, "Here, I have this life coaching thing. would you want to do it? And honestly, at that time, I put it off for about a year, and then I was like, let me get into it and see what it's all about. And here we are today. I'm doing so many speaking engagements. I have so many meetings. I have so many projects that I'm working with them on. I'm a coach for We Live Without Limits. It's a Facebook group, and also a Fowler International of Life Coaching Academy of Professionals. That's where I got in through it, and I have a lot of coaching friends now that we talk together and do projects with and do these speaking engagements with. Also to spread our wings and spread our messages around that it is okay to have it is okay to be who we are, and it is okay to push our limits, and we live without limits. Is That's the same message that I have today.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's how that happened.
Okay. So that's where the inspiration all came from. Okay. That's all. That's awesome. That's awesome. You also mentioned about it's okay to not be okay. You know, I say that a lot of times. Just don't stay there though. But it is okay to not feel okay. It's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
You know, so and I don't think people understand that. Don't beat yourself up so much.
Mm.
You know, people tend to beat themselves up because of things they may have said or did wrong, or not do or something. But don't beat yourself up. We are our own critics.
Mm.
We are our own. Sometimes we get in our own way that can hinder and stop us from moving forward or doing the things that we desire to do because of us. We put ourselves down. We think we're not worthy. We think we don't have enough of whatever it is to inspire the next person. We always do that, and we I ain't gonna say we because I don't, but I'm just saying in general. But that's how most people look at themselves as getting in their own way. Period. Their own way. When you do that, what do you get? Nowhere.
Exactly. You knock yourself over.
I think that's when the limits get put on you, is when we get in our own way.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You're exactly right. And that is exactly when you put limits on yourself. You don't give yourself room to fly. Like Neha said, let my wings spread and fly, But when you get in your way, you don't allow yourself that chance, opportunity, or room to just spread your wings.
You stunt your own growth. That's what I talked about when on the opening day of the conference at 4:30. Stunning your own growth and getting in your own way, knocking yourself over before you ever have a chance to get up and see what you're made of.
Don't let those negative thoughts get in your way. And I know I've done that a lot in my life, and it's only human to let those negative thoughts get in the way, but you need to know how to push them out of the way.
That's it. Yep. That's right. That's right. And then you got to watch the people around you. You got to watch your company, because sometimes your company that's around you, that's in your space, can cause you yourself to have negative thoughts and negative meanings and negative behavior.
Bring you down.
Bring you right with them. Bring you with them. Sometimes you got to know the people you're with. You got to know your surroundings and put yourself in positive places around positive people that's growing, that's doing things, that's going places. And that's where your energy should be, a positive manner, so you can continue to move forward.
you've said yourself. You've
I
said
think
yourself, Miss Wilson.
Nia is a good person, a wonderful person to be a life coach. I mean, she just has a spirit about her to make people feel happy and pull them up by pull them up by their pigtails, like she always has her pigtails on, and I just love it.
I do too. I love her. I love them.
I've heard Miss Wilson say this, and I've said this. Sometimes you got to weed out your garden, and sometimes you got to clean out your closet, which means the stuff around you sometimes it's got to go, sometimes it's for a season, and sometimes it's for a little longer. So
right.
you gotta get in there and clean it out.
Gotta clean it out. Like Tawana Williams said yesterday, that clutter. Clean that clutter out.
Woo! Yeah.
Clean that clutter out. She came with power yesterday. I said, short in stature, but power in the voice. And she comes and bring it,
I felt tingles all the way down to my toes when she spoke. Crazy.
Yeah. And Neha also said it's okay to ask for help. And that's another thing. That's another thing that gets in the way of some of us. We are so afraid or ashamed or embarrassed or don't want people to know. They think I got it together, but now I need to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. Not everyone has it together. And I don't care how old you are. People need coaches. People need mentors. People need teachers. Every day is a teachable lesson. Every day. So it's okay to ask for help. It is.
And don't get mad when people ask, can they help you? Because, and Miss Wilson has said this too, and I've run into this or run into them, so to speak, that at first I'm like, I can do it myself. But because then they're gonna not be around, and you're gonna want help, and you're gonna get mad because they're not there. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's okay to ask for help, but also it's okay to accept the help. And that's part of the growth process, learning that we all need a little bit of somebody to lean on every once in a while.
Right. So that was good. It's okay to ask for help. Hey, Neha, have you ever been in a situation where you needed help and you were afraid at first, and then you just opened up and just did it, or were you just like, I need help, I'm gonna just ask?
No, usually with me, my spirit and I can do it. I'm a little stubborn, and then I can open up later, like after trying millions of times, and I kind of say, I'm gonna ask for help.
Okay, I'm gonna just do it. Get out my stubbornness and just do it.
I like that. I'm gonna try 1,000 times.
That's true though. When you try so many times trying to do something, you realize, man, forget this. I can't do it. Let me just ask for help. I think a lot of us, and I'm gonna say us this time, me too. I think a lot of us, I'm in that category. We get that way. We want to do it ourselves, knowing in the beginning you really need help. But you're like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just try it and try it and try it, and then you're like, well, you know what? Forget it. Let me just reach out and ask for help. But I think a lot of us do get in that position because we feel like we got this thing and we could do this. So that's good. That was good.
That's like trying to get that toilet paper. They got the toilet paper stacked up, or the paper towel roll stacked up to the top, and you're gonna try to grab one from the bottom, and the whole thing, and it fall over. And I'm like, I'm gonna just back up and go to the other aisle so they don't see that I knocked it over.
Right.
Or, one time I was in a woman's store, and the store was tiny, and I was in my wheelchair, and I backed up, I knocked over a mannequin, I'm like,
She said I'm not no mannequin.
Everyone's gonna know that I'm the only one in the wheelchair and they knocked over a mannequin. And
That's
over
funny.
there like,
That's funny.
that's okay. It shouldn't have been placed there to begin with.
Yeah.
I would have knocked it over and been like, "You look a little stiff. You all right?"
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. Now, one more thing I wanna ask Neha. So for people with different abilities, because everybody has a disability or some type of condition that's in the disability community. What is it that you could share with someone that has a different type of ability that if they want to go back to school or go to school or become a mentor or a coach, whether it's a life coach or a health coach or, some like that, what would you tell to them? Because some people might be in fear of doing this or feel like people might look at me as having a disability and think that I'm not worthy of this. What message would you send to them?
Hey, that is a very good question. What I would say to them is to just spread your wings and get your name out there first, and then you know, uh, it might be hard, but you can also try different, like googling different community outings and different um like community centers that might be the equal opportunity and that might accept you for who you are, whether if you're doing an extracurricular activity activity or if you're just in that time, or if you have friends like um um doing a dance thing or doing a fundraiser, they might um have you spread your own wings, so you're doing it together. So I would suggest you going out there, talking to people, telling your story, and what I this is what I want to do, and then maybe some people will hear it, like I'm speaking today. So but I know it's hard, but you have to get out there and spread your wings and make yourself fly. But yeah.
So, do you feel like by them doing the research first, would that help them get out of that moment of feeling like they're not worthy or they're scared or afraid to do it?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Because that'll just pretty much bring awareness to them, and probably see some others if they do the right research, see some others that's out there that have disabilities that's doing it. So
Yes.
okay, okay, that's good. That's good.
Or talk to different colleges if you want to go back to school, or if you're first time like
Good
undergrad,
idea.
graduate, talking to different schools and seeing who's open and having that initial first come first serve meeting, or
Okay.
the accommodations person, or if it's a job, you're having the same thing. Just spread your wings, I would say.
Okay.
That's how I got to where I am today. I mean, uh with actually, when I was here last on this show, or doing the podcast that Miss Wilson had, I, for that matter, I was here in 2015. Then 2 years later, I started writing a book. So I
Good. Good.
I messaged Miss Wilson and said, I don't know if you remember this, Miss Wilson, but I messaged you and said I wrote a book, and your husband said that's good for her because you were talking about in that podcast and that
Yes.
thing that you were gonna write a book. You were
I said I was going to write a book. I ain't did that book yet. It's in my head.
I think it's in my head too. But just getting it on paper. It's
I
like
think she gave everybody some pages because I got a couple chapters and we got to collaborate and get it all together.
Right, right. I do remember you sending us a message. I remember all your message, even about the clothing and all of that. I remember everything. I respond, and I'm just so proud of you, just continuing to, just move forward and not allow Neha to get in her own way. So I am so, so proud of you. And then when you sent me a message about life coaching, I was like, God, this girl just going, just continue to just spread her wings and just fly and just keep going. And I absolutely love it. I just love it because it's allowing you to let your desires and your wants to spread without you stopping it because of your own. And I'm gonna say this because a lot of us are selfish to ourselves in our own selfish ways. We are selfish to ourselves, y'all. And sometimes we got to get out of that way. And a lot of people I put out there, to speak. And, for those that actually reach out to me and say they want, I love that. But those that sit behind and, wait for someone to reach out to them, you don't have to when the door is open. When the door is open for you to just spread your wings and share your story, your testimony, your journey, come on and do it. Just come on and do it. I'm opening it up for everyone to, have that moment to shine, to share, because everyone's story is different. Everyone. And you don't know who is waiting to hear from you. That's what Dr. Ona Brown said. And I'll never forget that, even though I knew it, but the way she brought it in. Dr. Ona Brown is the daughter of the phenomenal Les Brown. And he's a phenomenal motivational speaker, inspiration, all of that. He's been around for many, many years, just shining and sharing, to the masses. So his daughter, Dr. Ona Brown, that I personally know, actually, she was going to come on, but I sent her a message this morning because I missed the. I was so tired yesterday, and I heard DJ and them talking about self-care. I was I was extremely tired because every day after the conference, I was helping my daughter move. So I was just spreading myself far beyond my body was ready to do, and I got the message, and I actually talked to her assistant yesterday, and we had talked. She sent the information to an email, and I missed the email. So she was going to come on today, and I missed that. But I didn't miss the opportunity because she will be coming on with our caregivers gala, virtual gala. So I still have an opportunity to bring Dr. Ona Brown on. However, what I wanted to say was she said so many things that stuck with me. And that's, another thing was digging deep in ourselves. Sometimes we got to dig deep within ourselves to find out who we are, what we are worthy of. What do we like to do? Who is Edwina? Who is Neha? Who is Marie? Who is DJ? Dig deep in yourself and be confident about telling the truth about who you are without feeling like people going to think you're cocky or you all in yourself. Get away from that part and know who you are, know your worth, know what you're capable and able to do. I am confident. I am empowered. I am a great person. I love to speak. I love to shine. I like to give a platform and space for others. I give all I can. I am an inspiration. I am. We got to learn those I am, who you are. What
and
you
you
got to do.
also to add to that, and this is something I'm very bad at. Take the compliments that people give you and make sure you
Wow.
inside. And someone gave me a compliment. My friend was, I was talking to my friend before I came on here, and he was saying, "Oh my God, you look so pretty today. You have a beautiful smile." And I'm like, "Oh God, don't say that." You know what? Take those compliments
They say thank you.
and say thank you and run with it, but don't let it go over your head. Be humble about it.
That's
That's
it. That's it. That is it. Learn to just say thank you.
mhm.
It's like Nikki wrote up, Miss Wilson, you look pretty today. I said, oh, thank you, Nikki. I'm just learning this. I'm really learning to say thank you too. But
Accept the gifts that people give you, and when they give you something, let it be okay. Receive it.
And
Receive.
I think that's something people would I mean, all people have a hard time with, but people with disabilities have more of a hard time with because it's random to see a person that they don't know give you a compliment like that. Because you're thinking, well, are they giving me the compliment because they know I'm smart? Or are they giving me that compliment because they feel sorry for me?
But
yeah,
then
you know
that
what? Good response. Because some people can probably feel like, oh, they just saying that because they see
right.
my disability. Oh, they just saying that to try to make me feel good. Don't make me feel good because you feel like I need it. Be honest about it. Because if you don't want to give it to me because it's real, I'd rather not to have it. Like seriously.
Exactly.
I can understand where you're coming from with that, Miss Wilson, but just to kind of throw just a little DJ spin on it, you know, you put a little some.
I need the DJ spin.
Sometimes that's a mindset because sometimes they didn't mean it that way, and you say, "Oh, did you give the just say that to me because I have it?" You're bringing it into what it wasn't. Like
Exactly.
you're putting a negative spin on it when there wasn't meant to be one.
Exactly. And
It may not have meant to be one because some people, like Marie said, probably do say it
Some
just
do,
because.
but that's when you
But
sneeze and accidentally go forward. I mean, on purpose go forward. I'm just saying, you know.
because there are people out there that are more afraid of us than they are admitting that they don't know about the
Right.
disability.
People are afraid of what they don't understand, but you've got to get past that fear and just say hi.
well, you
You
know what? This is why I do what I do to try to get society to understand that we're no different than nobody else. Everybody, whether you have a disability or not, does things different. And society needs to look at those in wheelchairs or with a walker or with a cane or a crutch, walk a little different. The same. We do things different, just like everybody else that don't have to use those type of devices or walk different.
But
Everybody's meaning of doing things is different. So this is why I try to educate the community and bring awareness because of this. Neha came with empowerment and confidence. And I asked about what would you think that, or give a word of those that, feel like they're not worthy or they can't do this and so forth. I did that because they, I feel like if they had that confidence in them to boldly step into it, the sky is unlimited and they can be unstoppable. I look at Neha right now as unstoppable because she did not allow those things to stop her in spite of her being in a wheelchair.
mm-hmm.
And people looking at her different because I'm sure they do because they do everybody. Hey, they look at me different, and I think I got a normal walk. It is my walk. But the thing is, everybody does something different. Everybody's life is different.
We've got to stop using
different. Everybody talk different. Everybody smell different. Everybody look different. But this is what we got to teach society.
We've got to stop using the word normal.
I think that should be it. I think that they should take that. They should take different and normal.
That part, Cindy, that part. It would be very boring if everybody was alike and everybody did the same thing.
They should take the words different and normal out of the dictionary because through.
No, different is good. Normal is ill.
Okay, yeah.
Or different ability is a good way to say it.
Yeah, it's different is good because different is better than normal. What is the heck is normal? We're gonna get off of that subject because I get.
Well, that's you talked about it before. That's a whole show right there.
It's a whole show by itself.
And it's okay to be different because everybody always is. But you talked about something earlier, the power of one. Neha shared her story today, and even if it affects one person, which it will affect more than one, but even if it affects more than the one person, if they go and they do something that they thought they couldn't, regardless of whether they have a disability or not, or different ability or not, they are, to quote unquote, spreading their wings and now moving themselves in the right direction. I heard 3 words today, and I'm like, well, dang, she wrote a book. What's the title of your book, Neha?
Brave Soul.
Okay. All right. Is that available everywhere? Amazon? Can you get it? Where can you?
Amazon.
Okay. All right. But that and again, everybody's writing books. Everybody writing books. I'm like, man, I got to get mine out. It just, again, to inspire someone else, to push someone else, to lift someone else up. That's what this does. That's what she's doing right here. Somebody on the outside looking in, going, I could do that. I've got a story I could share. That's why I love what Miss Wilson said at the very beginning. When she started this, I opened the door. All you got to do is walk, roll, hop, fall, get in the door some way. Throw something in there. Don't let it close. You know how to stop an elevator, stop that sensor? Throw that junk in there and let it get, it's going to pop back. You got an opportunity. The only opportunity you miss is the ones you don't take.
The one you don't take. That's it.
And it's not that a person says I could do that, or I'm like this person, so maybe I could do that. I think it matters more when it's a person that has everything and that sees life with rose-colored glasses and see disability as just a wheelchair, just a walker, or whatever the case may be. It's that person that says, oh my God, look at this woman. She's in a wheelchair. She wrote a book. She's positive about life. She knows what she does. She's not just that doll that sits in a wheelchair.
But on top of that also, see here's where it gets, this is what gives her the edge. We all struggle. We all face adversity. And it's in those adversities, if I said that word right, that we come out stronger. You look at Miss Wilson and say, man, she got it together. And she does. But she had to fight like you don't know what to get it where it is. See, that's the same thing. The story itself, the journey itself, when that comes out,
yeah.
And this is what makes people go, oh, those moments, where do those moments come from? When people get real. When the journey gets real and you see the raw emotion, the anger, the happiness, the tears, the explosion of excitement. When they see that and they go, they feel. People with disabilities, people with different abilities, people with amazing stories, people with amazing journeys. Whoo! I'm gonna tell you.
That's when you have to say, That's when these people that say you can't do this or you can't do that. You have to prove the ignorant people wrong.
But see, your journey does that,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows that just because they say it doesn't mean it's true. In the little bit of time that Neha talked, and how she, when Miss Wilson came on and asked her the three questions back to back, I'm like, and she came back in again, and then she went from there to there to there to there to, and it's like I kind of turned my head sideways a little bit and had that Edwina look for a minute, like, God dang, because it's amazing to see to go to school with highest honors and to graduate with. I said before, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about valedictorian, you're talking about that. This right here shows that her chair and her disability is not stopping her. It is not defining her. Not for a selfless plug there, but it is not defining her and who she is. She is carving her own roadmap. That's what Ms. Wilson wants to see from us, from the disabled community, from the community of people with different abilities. She wants to see us carve our own roadmap with our own rocks, our own utensils, and we can get some help, but you got to get there. You got to find out your journey on your own because it's your journey. It's not
your journey.
It's
exactly.
not Wilson. It's not Marie's. It's go ahead.
And
Sorry, Murray. It
Oh.
also comes in within you. You have to do it. You have to be the one that is the first point of contact. Everyone else is behind you sometimes, but you have to say, okay, I'm gonna do that, this and this and this, and you have to put your foot down and say, okay, this is how I'm gonna do it. This is what I need you to help me with. I mean, this is what I need you to um help me with in my daily life or in my journey through college or through writing this book or through life coaching. Is I want you to explore what I can do versus not exploring what I can do.
Right.
And I think every person's journey starts with their willingness to understand their own self. Then it could be at 16, it could be at 80.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to face yourself in the mirror, not just see what's on the outside, but see what's on the inside.
Well said. Well,
Right.
I think one of the greatest things that, and again, both of you, Neha and Miss Wilson, and I'm like, she said that, she said that, she said that. As you went through, you know, to start a journey for me, and I understand it so much more now, is knowing your worth, going through and knowing that you're the person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I'm going to start this thing, I'm worth $2 million. Why has it got to stop there? Why aren't you worth 10 million plus? What may see you got to see stop looking like this and start looking like this. That's where
you got to see, you truly got to know your worth and know that if you're worth, especially sometimes you can start small. Sometimes you can start small.
but
Sometimes
don't put
you
a
can
cap
offer
on.
your services because you're being a servant.
Mm-hmm.
But you, at the same time, you still have to know your worth and say, you know what, I know I'm worth more than this.
Right.
I know I'm worth $20,000 to speak at your engagement. I'm worth $50,000 to speak at. People do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say we got to end this now because our next guest is available. But I want Neha to share her platform, the things that she's doing. First, leave a word of inspiration and share how people can follow you.
Okay, so first, leave a word of inspiration. I want you all to listen to me today or to some other next speakers and find for you. Find what they say to make you go out there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna call somewhere tomorrow and ask for help or ask how can I get into it." Just put your step in the door and just do it. I know that it's a hard thing, but honestly, it's worthwhile. It can give you a light at the end of the tunnel, and it can also make you a person you want to be. I know that is hard, but you have to try, and trying is the more key thing that you have to do. If you don't want to try, it's fine, but you can at least try and get to where you want to get.
Good. That's good. If you don't try, you won't know. Now share with us how people can follow you and where they can pick the title of your book and where they can pick it up from, order it from.
So my title of the book is on Amazon, called Brave Soul by my full name, Neha Siddiqui, as you can see here today. But you can also follow me on my CP Smile for Neha Facebook page, and also my YouTube channel is there are no limits to having CP with Neha Siddiqui. And all of that is on my Facebook page. So if you're not following me there, otherwise you can follow me on my personal page. But I don't post there anymore. I post less over there. Because I do a lot of things. So I'm all trades of cards now. But yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram at Siddiqui525. And I'm everywhere, so you guys won't miss me. Even if I send you a friend request later, you guys won't miss me.
Thank you so much, Neha. We appreciate you and all that you're doing. Keep spreading your wings and just don't let nothing or nobody stop you. All right. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
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 All right.
I just love her. I think she's a
She
wonderful.
is a ray of sunshine. Boy, I'm gonna
Yes,
tell
she
you what.
is. Yes, she is. Empowerment and confidence. She brought it in just like that.
Woo.
Confidence. Any question, she didn't hesitate. She just spoke it right in. She had no doubt in her demeanor or anything. Nothing.
And
Just
she had
brought it in.
spunk, man. You could just,
Yeah.
I mean, just right off the cuff, like.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
let's keep it going, Miss Winnie. Who we got?
So there it is. Confidence and empowerment. Y'all got to believe in yourselves. When you believe in yourself, that's where confidence comes. And don't feel like you're being cocky when you talk about yourself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, my goodness, our next speaker is the beautiful Bibiana. All these beautiful young ladies coming in here. What's going on?
All right.
I had to do something.
Let
In my
me back up a little bit. I got it.
older days. She down there doing like this, y'all. Like she bringing it in. I'm going to bring our next guest in, Bibiana, and I'll share a little bit about you once she get here. Hey, Bibiana, how are you?
Hey,
Hey, how are you guys?
good.
How is it over there in Brazil today?
Sorry?
How is it over there in Brazil today?
What do you mean, like weather or
The
COVID
weather,
cases?
yes.
I don't know anymore because everything is COVID. So I'm guessing so the weather is really hot today here. It's really hot.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was just gonna mess up.
No, that's all right. I would have been show you that little piece of hair ain't come back out.
I know y'all saw me trying to fix that piece of hair. It was like because I went outside and the wind is blowing and it just So,
Mhm.
but thank you for joining us, Bibiana.
Thank
I
you.
have worked.
I always love being here with you.
That's right, girl. Look, I
Yeah,
can't resist you, and I know you can't resist me.
of course. I was actually thinking about this the other day because it has been a year since I met you all.
Yeah,
And it was like game changing for me. I really enjoy my time with you all. It's amazing. I love you.
I
I
know.
saw.
I have watched you from a year ago to just being this bright and shining star. Like you just have rose up and just becoming unstoppable. I've seen you on several people platforms. I'm just like, girl, you better go get it and do the darn thing. Even though I didn't know the language and the language, but what I saw was confidence. I saw you standing tall, as Marie said, like a giraffe. So I saw you. I mean,
Lena.
Lena. She said, she said, but I see you. I saw you standing tall, and I saw the confidence in you, and you speaking, and I didn't see any stuttering in your lips or movement or anything. I said, she got this. I don't know the language, but she got this, and I was so proud of you.
Thank you. I really enjoy, and I think this experience with you all really made me grow. As I said here before, it made me grow because once I started to speak about my cerebral palsy in English, of course, it will be easier for me to speak in Portuguese. So when I got that courage to speak in Portuguese was like amazing,
Yeah.
and I think was so empowering to me, because it's one thing to speak to people around the world, it's other thing to speak to people that know you since you were born and were there for you when you were like ashamed to talk about cerebral palsy. So a lot of people that I was ashamed to talk about it suddenly became like my public, my audience, and it has been just amazing because I really lost that shell that I was building before that. And it's incredible. I don't want to cry because I love you all. And I don't want to, speak half an hour just like I love you and you changed my life because that's true. But I say that a lot. And people would start to think of me boring. So
Oh.
let's change the subject.
Okay. So, Bibiana's message is how I see myself with a disability in the mirror. It might be a little bit twisted, but anyway, I ain't looking at it directly, but I can remember. Anyway, do you want us to stay, or you want to? You know what? I ain't gonna ask that. We're gonna let you have the spotlight.
No, you can stay. You know that I love to mingle. I am that kind of person. Stay there. I love to mingle. I love to chat. It's so much easier than just me talking, talking, talking. So when you think like you want to intervene or say something, just say something. I'm cool with that. I talk here a lot, so I don't need the spotlight. We can share the
Talk
spotlight.
about confidence. Okay,
We can share the spotlight.
yes. Go ahead, but we're gonna not interrupt. We're gonna
Okay.
let you speak, and then we'll come in and
Okay.
okay.
Okay. So I decided to speak about self-esteem and the impact of social media on the self-esteem of people with disability because I was actually thinking a lot about that this year. This, it's just March, but I was thinking about this a lot because I just turned 18 and I realized that I don't know other way to relate than through social media, right? So when I met someone, I'm like, I like this person. I would add that to my Facebook friends and my Instagram, and I will follow them because I like them. That's relationship to me since I was born. I don't know a world without internet or social media or Facebook or Instagram. I don't remember that. And I actually used to have an Orkut account this is so old. And I was like 6 years old and I had an Orkut account. And that's like crazy because I live that way, you know, I don't know another word. So I was thinking about this a lot lately. And I realized how this messed up the way that I saw my cerebral palsy. Because I always knew and followed people without cerebral palsy and without other disabilities. And if I only know relationships that are reinforced by social media, and I don't know anyone with a disability, and I don't follow anyone with disability, I am the only one. And oh my gosh, what a curse it is to be the only one with a disability. So when we follow someone, we are looking for inspiration, right? And we are looking for this role model of life. And for 16 years, my role models and the lives that I was inspired by was only about people without disability. And I realized that that lifestyle doesn't fit in my reality, right? So I used to saw people wearing high heels, running with flip flops and slippers, and not doing physical therapy and any of that. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, I am wrong. I am different. And that is bad because I don't know anyone with that kind of life, not in real life and not in virtual life. And I spent my whole 60 years thinking like I am wrong. I need to be fixed. This is wrong. My legs are wrong. And everything that I do is not normal. And it was like terrible. And it stayed terrible for a really long time. Until one day I was pissed off by society and I had a lot of courage. And I made a test in English and I sent to the one account that I found on Instagram using the right keywords. So I knew that cerebral palsy in Portuguese is paralisia cerebral, but I didn't know that in English, cerebral palsy was cerebral palsy. So every time that I Google it or research on Facebook or Instagram, I always Google it paralisia cerebral. So when I realized what was the translation to English, I searched cerebral palsy on Instagram, and I certainly found some accounts on Instagram. So I sent a message, a test for this account called Cerebral Palsy Strong, explaining a little bit about my history, about my story, and suddenly, like that weight that I was feeling was not there anymore. And I sent them, it was a Sunday, and I was like with all that energy inside of me. And on Tuesday evening, I was in class. I received the feedback from the administrator of the page. And she said to me, like, you know, I can publish that. And I was like, of course you can publish that. So she published that. And the feedbacks were like amazing. It was one of the most cool and liberating experience of my entire life, because suddenly I knew this community, so I was not alone anymore. Because until that, I was alone. I didn't know anyone with my disability, and I knew that I had cerebral palsy, have cerebral palsy, and Googling, I would always found like people in wheelchairs who don't walk and don't talk. And I was thinking like, I have cerebral palsy and I'm not of this. So I want to see people like me, you know, people with cerebral palsy like me, because I know there is someone else out there, but I don't really know them. So the response was amazing. By the night, the feedbacks were like exploding, and I was like so happy. And I was so happy that for the first time I shared about my cerebral palsy. It was the first time that I shared with people that I knew my cerebral palsy, and I replied that post. I reposted that post, and suddenly the people that I knew, that knew me in my entire life, were like cheering for me for a thing that I never shared before. And that day was the day that I realized that no matter what, I would never going to hide my cerebral palsy again. Because until that, I used to hide one of the most important things about me, Thinking back, I remember that when I used to meet someone new, I rather stay or sitting down, or if I was standing up, I used to not move so much. So the person wouldn't realize something strange or wrong with me, and I would be normal. And that's kind of crazy, who hides something as important as it is, like being born with cerebral palsy. It's not something that you can hide, and it's not something that we should hide. But that's the way that society made us feel. So I think that is the bad side of social networks, social media. There's all this pressure and tension and need of being who other person is, this need of being fit into boxes. And I think the good side of social media is that side that I only discovered after 16. That is this community, suddenly I'm not alone anymore. I know this bunch of people. I can talk about it. I talk about my cerebral palsy in English. I talk about my cerebral palsy in Portuguese. I wrote about this, and I met virtually a lot of people from all the countries and all parts of the world, and this is amazing. And this is really a blessing. Open up my head to a lot of things that I was never considering before. Was one of the most amazing experiences in my life. It was to find that group, because that group led me to a bunch of groups that made me who I am today, that made me the courage to speak here today. And so I think if you're asking me, like, you think that social media are good or bad, I think nothing in life is bad or good. Things are like with a good side or a bad side. And I think that is for social media too, There's a good side and there's a bad side. And I got to know them both. I don't know how were your experience with social media. I would love to know about DJ, Marie, and Miss Sweeney experience with social media. But for me, as an 18-year-old girl, that it's like this young person and is thinking about all these references and all these people and is trying to fit in a group was really hard. But once that I knew that I was not alone, was really easy for me to get to terms like, what, I don't fit in this project of teenager and all that kind of stuff, my hair, my legs, my everything. I don't fit into that, and I'm okay. I like the way that I am. And one important thing that I realized is that, what, we not everyone will like us, not everyone will love us. And as soon as we come to terms with that, easier is for us. I used to spend so much time thinking about everyone, thinking about me, about the way that I look, about the way that I walk, about the way that I talk, about everything, that I used to spend less time thinking about myself. And once I come to terms with that, I used to spend more time thinking about myself than the others. And that's also quality of time, and also mental health. It's not healthy for us to spend the whole day thinking about other people's life on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or everything. we need to think about ourselves, as Miss Winnie was saying before, and I think that's life. So I don't know what was your experience. Might be better than mine, might be worse than mine, and that's life. If you don't agree with me, it's okay too. It's my experience, as I said before.
Um, yeah, we have an Alicia Smith that's back again. That has nothing to do with Kelly's Choice, nothing that we're promoting or part of. So ignore Alicia Smith. Shame on her for wanting to come on someone's platform and be rude, disrespectful, and trying to get money from those that you don't need. Because I'm sure you done did this many, many times. You done been on here too many times with a different profile and a different name. We know you. We know you as the rudeness.
Oh
I think
boy.
we lost Deanna because her internet kept going in and out.
She'll be back in just a second.
Yes, so ignore that person. We don't know who that is. Okay.
I think Viviana's speech is so amazing, and I mean, I'm not as open as she is now. At 43 years old, I still have my self doubt, and just growing up in the age of the internet is hard. I mean, I like Viviana said. She wants to hear stories from all three of us. I think for me, at the age of 18, the internet was just coming into play, and seeing what power the internet holds. And I mean, it was like, oh my God, Joyride, because none of the superhighway was all new. So there was no regulation on what you could do and what you can't do, and what what websites to go visit and what websites not to go visit. And growing up in an age where, like, Viviana's 18 years old, they've been that her whole life. 18 years old, that's the age when internet really took off.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can a teenager be not be so vulnerable and have, especially a teenager with a disability, be on the internet and be vulnerable like that? But she used it in a positive way,
Yes.
used it in a way to get to know herself. And,
Exactly. Find herself and know herself. Yes.
I commend her for that,
Yes.
because
Yes.
a teenager and 17, 18-year old, whatever you want to say, that's hard for someone to say, oh my God, they don't look like that person, or I, I mean, you don't have people with disabilities modeling on the runway or on the catwalk to say it's okay to look like this. I just give Viviana so much credit for being such a young age and not getting caught in a situation that she shouldn't be in.
Right. Because she went searching for someone else, others that may have cerebral palsy.
Yeah,
And I love the fact that she said she did that because she was hiding her true self. And hiding your true self and not accepting yourself had to have been hard because you're around so many other people But you know in your mind, I have this disability. I have this condition that nobody else around me has. And everybody's doing things different. But how do I accept me and love me for who I am so I can speak about not only myself, but speak about cerebral palsy? How can I educate others on cerebral palsy if I don't learn about it myself? So that was phenomenal for you to go out and do some research to find Bibiana, find yourself, be able to accept who you are and the condition that you have, and just spread your wings. And you're right. The internet, social media is not so bad. I mean, we got bad folks like Alice Smith, which is probably a male that's using female names and profiles to create this mess that they putting on people pages. But you know, otherwise it's not so bad. And you got to dismiss yourself from negative energy. Other than that, keep growing, because there's so much more on here that you can learn and grow from. So I love your message.
The first thing I want to comment on, well said, Miss Wilson. That's exactly kind of where I was going. But I love how Bibiana talked about, you know, what she thought at first, how she thought she had to be like, the people that she had to meet. They didn't have a disability. She didn't follow people with disabilities. She didn't allow herself to get outside of that box. We all have this look. We've got to follow this stereotype of this is how we have to be. Then that moment of realization, wait a minute, I'm different. I have cerebral palsy. What is it? Where does it come from? What does it do? What does it make me do? Now I want to see if there's other people. And when you search cerebral palsy in Portuguese, it's totally different than when you search it in English. The words are different. So then she starts finding groups, and she starts reaching out, and she starts connecting to groups, to people, to us. All of this happens. And the explosion of what she saw and how she felt, there is an instantaneous connection when you meet someone that gets it, that understands what you go through. She asked about, you know, how did social media affect us? Let me say this. I haven't had many bad experiences on social media. A lot of it has been good, like Miss Wilson said. But you have to be careful on social media, because a lot of people will perceive to be one thing and be another. You have to be careful when you meet people from social media. You want to go with someone. You want to go in a public place. You don't want to go by yourself the first time you meet them, because you don't know. Because it is so easy to Photoshop, to hack an account, to go into something as you're not. And, you know, but you also want to give people the benefit of the doubt too. You don't want to go in with a negative mindset, like Miss Wilson said. You want to go in with a positive mindset, because that's one thing about Bibiana that I love. She's always so positive. And it's coming from, you know, Brazil and going through what she went through to find herself. Finding yourself is part of the journey of life. That is
growth. It's growth.
Yeah, it's what it is. And when she connected that Bibiana was okay the way she is, that's when this explosion happened, and other people are like, "Oh my God, have you heard this girl speak?" Like it's almost like the jaw drop is the mic drop of the world. You just see boom, 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 and they're just and then to go and speak another language and to totally kill it in a good way and connect there, and then they're like, wait a minute, if she can do it, why can't I? So again, that connection, that's where the good part of social media has happened for me. Yeah, there were some bad experiences and some people I had to deal with, as it were, with the block button or with the unfriend button or whatever it is. But then the great connection is when you find at that moment that you're reaching your hand out and someone grabs it and says, you know what, that made me happy, that made me cry, that made me feel something I've never felt before. I am okay. And that is the Bibiana that I know now. I'm okay. I'm good with who I am. I am going to school. I am going to be. I am going to do. I am. I will. I can. There's nothing she can't do. Nothing. And she realizes that now because she found herself, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
I think each day that we've done this conference, there has been a common theme. Like every day has been a different theme, and I think today's theme is confidence. I mean,
Yeah.
the
I like that.
from
Yes.
the first guest to now, I mean, being so confident in who you are with your disability, and no matter what age you are, that you become confident in that. It's just amazing what confidence can do to a person.
Yes, yes, it definitely can build you
So
up.
true.
It can
So
take
true.
you out of that shell that you've been in with all of that confidence in you, with all of that greatness and goodness in yourself, all of that worth and knowledge and wisdom and understanding, all of that in you, and that you're hiding because you just was afraid to just be confident in you and just share and spread your wings. So many people have so much greatness in them. Like, it's like, and when you finally get that moment and you make a decision to just speak, a decision to just share, a decision to just sit back,
Right.
and for whatever reason, watching everybody else, knowing I want to do this, I can do this, I got this in me, but you won't do it. I hope and pray that one day that if the acceptance is not there, that you will learn to accept yourself and accept who you are and the condition that you have, and spread your wings and just become unstoppable and good within yourself that you're doing this. I just hope and pray that whoever that spoke to, maybe if not my platform, maybe somebody else's, that you could come in one day and that you would just share that. Because confidence is everything. You could go so far with confidence.
You mentioned
It's hard to find confidence at any age. I mean, I'm just finding my confidence at 43. I'm just finding out who I am with my confidence. But to be 18, 18 years old and to be so confident growing up in the age of social media, that says a lot about a person.
but that's okay that you're just now finding that confidence. That's
Thank
okay.
you.
That's okay. Um, you know, but it's talking about confidence, and just when Bibiana was speaking, the amazing thing to me about our guest today and talking about the theme of confidence, it is a lot of people are sitting there on the edge. They're on the edge of doing something great. They're right there. They're this far, and all you got to do is just reach out and do it. You're right there. And then you hear a message like this, and yet you're still sitting there. You're still sitting there. You're still wondering about, can I? Will I? I don't. I will. You cannot limit yourself and block yourself from a chance of opportunity. Hearing a message like this, it connects people. And what this does is us four sitting here connect with others. And then four more connect and four more connect. And the confidence continues to build. But what bothers me, I guess, to a point where I just want to see this conference has shown success. Okay, we have heard journeys of power and confidence and just teamwork makes the dream work and the whole 9 yards. but it's all what you do with it right now. It's the right now moment. You've been sitting on that couch eating the same bag of chips for weeks. You've been watching the same TV programs. You've been listening to all this inspirational stuff and all of these inspirational messages. I think that people need to not only have confidence, but use the confidence that they have to bring others out of the darkness and into the light, and let them realize that it's okay to be afraid, but it's also okay to do something in fear, because that shows confidence itself.
Exactly. And I think with confidence, and I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years in the CP community, and I've noticed that to be confident, you have to be humble. And if you're not humble, then it's not gonna work. You know, there are certain people that I've been CP community that are really confident in who they are and what they speak for, but they're not humble. And I think you have to be confident, you have to be humble too. And I think this what Kelly Choice says and what Kelly Choice does, it brings out the confidence in the CP community, but because Miss Awida is also so humbled with who she is and what she does, it gives us a humble side to being confident to, and to be able to spread our message to other people within the community and outside our community. Hey Kim,
Hi, I wanted to give you guys a treat. What I do. My
hi.
little angel. Wanted to bring him on because everybody always talks about my little angel. This is him.
Hi,
Noah
sweet.
say Noah say hi. Hi Noah, say hi.
Um, yeah,
Yes.
I think that the confident part of it is also to be able to let down that wall when you're in that shell
Yeah.
and you find that everybody has walls. Everybody has where you cannot. It takes time to break through to find yourself and the insecurities and the I don't knows and the will it happen and the how do I get from stage one. You mentioned this very early. Knowing Biana within the first year we met her and seeing the growth within, the confidence within, the humbleness within, the realization of the powerfulness of a voice. This is where the explosion happens.
Right.
This is where confidence happens. Confidence doesn't start out like this. Confidence starts out like this. It starts out and it grows. And you understand for a period of time that I've got to break through the barrier. I've got to break through the barrier of I can't, I won't, I'm scared, I'm not good enough. Why am I speaking? Who's going to hear it? Where is it going to go from? It's got to be, the confidence has to grow within yourself, and you have to see it within yourself to share it. And then once you're confident with your own confidence, then you can bring it out to others.
I'm here.
Right.
I think you know how you play a song every day for the theme of this show. I think I found a song that fits today for the show. and it's called Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw.
Okay.
We don't own the rights to this music, guys. We're just doing this for entertainment purposes. Please, Facebook, don't take off our video.
Can they put it on? Can they play it?
Go ahead. Just a little bit, just a little portion, because we don't want them to take away, yeah.
How about you find it because you know how to do it?
All I do is use my phone and I just cut it off. I put it right to the part that I want everyone to hear, and then I cut it off right at the end of what I don't want them to hear.
We'll play it after at the end of the day. And then I can find it. Like where to cut it off and stuff.
You gotta send me the information. We'll talk. So you can let me know what part is the parts that you want to be heard.
Yeah, because we're about to go on break, so we'll talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Miss Winnie, let me ask you this: is it you? I know you believe and you've seen. Lord, now I'm stumbling. With confidence and seeing it in other people, and seeing it within other people. When they don't see it, and you're able to find that nudge or that spark or that push to get them to see their own confidence. I mean, it's okay that it takes longer for others, right? I mean, there's not a timeline on when you've got to get it out. I don't want to rush it, but again, you're able to help us see and them see you have the confidence in you already, and you showed the same thing to Bibiana and me and Marie and many, many others. Where is it? I mean, do you just find it or find a piece of it for them to kind of take that first step with?
Say that last part again.
When you
okay, go ahead.
I got you. When you see someone with confidence and they're having trouble showing it, but you know they have it, you'll find that piece or that nudge or that little spark. Do you find that little piece and then kind of let them go from there? How do you pull that out of them just to get them enough to where they can boom and it just hits? It's that almost like a cannonball out of a cannon. You got to light it first, and that fuse has got to go down, and that gunpowder's got to hit, and there it goes, and they run with it, so to speak. Bibiana was that way.
She's like the teacher trying to get the kid to realize how to come to that math problem or that
exactly. Well, great analogy.
Yeah. What I do is like I'm always listening. And I'm paying attention, and sometimes I can hear the stagnated part. I can hear the struggle, and then I watch visual, and that allows me itself to step in and try to help in the best way I know how because of what I see to be able to help pull it out. If that makes any sense.
It does.
It does.
I guess what I'm getting at is that you don't have to look very far to find it. You just but it's amazing. I mean, and maybe I'm talking a little bit about me, but it's amazing to me. You can go off of one thing, and it's often the way you phrase it. How about trying this? How about doing this? Go here because you can. And they're like, well, how the heck you know? Like you're not them, but in a way, it's like you reach into their soul and go, there it is. I mean, it just,
But think of your what do you do? Your karate or what's this for you do?
It's martial arts karate. Mm-hmm.
Your martial arts teacher. I mean, you might be stuck on something, but yet he has the education to pull it out from you.
Right, but I'm at, yeah, it's the same question there from a martial arts instructor, but I want to see how, like,
Okay, so for instance, DJ could call me and say he could be stuck somewhere. For instance, recently feeling overwhelmed. You don't have to be overwhelmed. You overwhelm yourself. Sometimes you gotta let go certain things to free yourself from being overwhelmed. If you're doing one thing too many times, do you have to do that thing that many times? Can you do it once a month, once a week, once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Space it out.
You gotta learn how to balance your own self out to free yourself from being overwhelmed. So if I get a conversation, something like that, the first thing I'm doing is asking, what all are you doing? What all are you doing? Because first I need to know what's overwhelming you. And then we both together, all of us together, can figure out how to narrow it down to allow you to be free of being overwhelmed.
So
For
you
go ahead.
You basically listen to them, find out where they're struggling or where they're at, and then you say, okay, try this, try this, try this. Yeah, it takes so little for you to find it. I mean, and not just in me. I mean, just like with Kyle, he had the ability. He's always had it, and then you gave like one thing, like a little nugget, and he just exploded. Same thing.
Sometimes it's already there. You just gotta just pull it out yourself. Right. Okay, so for instance, when Bianca came on, the first time Bianca was our guest last year, speaker, from her title alone, and just, you know what? Let's start here. From her reaching out, period. She sent an email, okay? So from the email, that was one. You already know you had something in yourself, okay? Because you reached out. Two, you were ready to share your story because you did all the research already, okay? Three, she had to learn, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to stand, okay? Just let it go.
Say that last part again, Miss Wilson. The plane went through.
So with Bianca, she was already ready. She was ready. So all she had to do was just, once she got there, she had to just be bold, stand tall, and just deliver her message. So with Bianca, as she came in and joined us, I don't know whose that is, but if you could, oh, that's you, Neha. It's a plane.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So with Bianca, she already had confidence in her. Bianca had boldness in her. Bianca was ready. She was confident. For a little while, she just didn't know how much of it, but she was willing to take that step and walk into it. And with her doing that, all she did was open the door for me to step in even more and just, just build that thing up, because she had power in her. She had power and confidence and knowledge she had already learned. So she just need to know, girl, look, you got this. I don't know what held you back for so long. All you got to do is just keep doing what you're doing. Be bold, reach out to more, reach out to others, show yourself, shine yourself. It was little to nothing for her. It was little to nothing because it was already in there. Most of you all is already in there. You just got to be bold and let go. Step out in confidence, step out and on faith, and just know, I got this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to shine. This is my topic. This is what I'm going to say, and I'm going to do it. Walk in, drop the mic, and go on about your business.
And then even though Miss Rita is an advocate for CP and stuff, she's also a mentor for us. Because if you look up the definition of advocate and mentor, they're two different things.
Right.
I start with the the same thing, but two different things. And it takes a special person like Miss Oweda who knows about cerebral palsy to be a mentor for people with cerebral palsy. That's why I know we've had a private conversation a while ago, and I said, "Oh my God, you would be a wonderful LSW for people in the cerebral palsy community." That comes back to our topic where we just started today with me and DJ. Like I was talking to a friend a couple of days ago. I said, maybe you should go see someone because she has all this stuff in her mind. And she said to me, why would I go see someone when that person doesn't know what cerebral palsy is like? You know, you're not just going to see someone for cerebral palsy. You're going to see someone to get the cobwebs under your head so you can deal with your cerebral palsy. And I think Miss Weeder would be a great person to be able to go to school and study that and come back to be an LSW for the cerebral palsy community. But she has 1,000 hats and she doesn't have time for that.
She did mention that she literally reached out to me and we had that conversation. She literally said that to me. And I appreciate you looking at me like that. And a lot of mine come from my daughter.
Yeah.
So, being Kelly's mom for 35 years, it takes a lot where you have to pay attention. You're learning every day. I listen to her all the time. I don't take advantage of her not being able to advocate for herself. I give her choices. I let her speak. I listen to her, and I'm able to fill in where she's struggling to fill in. So, with my learning from my daughter for 35 years, helps me to be able to come with you all, Biana and Nehi and DJ and Marie and all the rest of them, and listen to you all and give this platform so as you all grow or feel like now I'm ready to step out, that's what this is for. So I'm able to help in the midst of that as well. So it all comes from me, DJ, being Kelly's mom.
Right, right. Real quick, I know Bibiana's got to run, so to speak, real quick. Would you leave a word of inspiration, Bibiana, and just if you'd like to?
Wait a minute, hold on before we go there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before we go there, you talked about you were confident when you came here. You were bold when you came here. What got you there?
I would have to say it would be the
I
experience.
guess time and life.
Oh,
I use say time and life got me there. I think when we are ready, we know we are ready. You know.
Okay.
So my answer would be time and life.
Okay.
And for the inspiration quote that DJ was asking, I like a lot a quote from Maya Angelou from the poem Still I Rise. And I like one part that she says, you might kill me with your hatefulness, but it's still like air, I will rise. And I think that's life. Sometimes we let ourselves go through hate and we actually believe on all the things that people are saying about us, but we shouldn't. And instead of falling for that, we should rise. So I think that is one of the most important lessons that I learned in my life. That is, no matter what, no matter how harmful people are, still I rise. I will rise up no matter what. So that's my quote.
Good. And if you want anyone to follow you, you can share that. And if not,
My
then
Instagram and my Facebook are Bibiana Muscalo, but I don't actually use my Facebook a lot to share about my story. I don't know why. I guess it's from generation. I rather post on Instagram. So if you want to see the things that I post, you should follow there, because on Facebook I don't post anything actually. So Instagram, Bibiana Muscalo is where you can find me.
okay, you could set your Instagram to connect with your Facebook. So if you share on Instagram, it could go directly to your Facebook page. Just a little tip there.
Yes, I know. I guess my audience is more there than here on Facebook. So I actually just post there and it's okay.
Okay. Just a thought. People look for you on Facebook. But thank you so much for being bold, confident, and keep rising up.
Both of you young ladies, both of you young ladies are very bold and very confident.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Totally agree. And y'all were back to back in this message. So that's very powerful. And I appreciate you. But I know you got to go, Bibiana. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you for being bold and confident. And
Thanks for
keep
having
rising,
me.
honey. Keep rising. We'll see you Sunday.
Bye bye. Thank
All
you
right.
very
Take care.
much. See you
All right.
soon.
Man. Oh, y'all have killed this thing today. Neha and Bibiana, and then my co-host DJ and Maria. Like, y'all, everybody is just doing so wonderful. So confident is a huge word today.
Were you asking that question to Bibiana, or were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was still her moment. It was still
Right.
her moment. So
Right.
I wanted her to finish out her moment before I go into closing
Sure.
out. So yes, that was.
I just was making. I thought you were asking me at first, and then I'm like, I started talking, and then I was like, oh, okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah. It was Biana. Um, but y'all killed it today. I appreciate everybody's confidence and Marie coming in even from the beginning. Like I did not know, but with Marie always asking me, Miss Winnie, is there anything I can help you with? Miss Winnie, if you need any help with anything, let me know. I'm here for you. Trust me when I say I see, I hear, and I listen.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Trust me, I do. Don't think because you don't see me or hear me, I'm not paying attention. I know I'm a hit and miss on Facebook a lot because I'm really working behind the scenes on two major projects that we will be bringing forth. But I listen. I see. Y'all know I do catch my memories though. If
Like,
anybody know me, they know I'm catching my memories at a
like
certain
I
time.
told you and DJ the other night, I don't mind telling my story or sharing my story, but I'd rather sit back and interview people and maybe share my story within an interloop of that. Like, you know.
Like if Neha's speaking and she's saying something and you can interject and you can relate to that. And
Yeah.
she's like, I get it. And you've been doing that, which is really great. I appreciate that.
Also,
You've been listening. You've been asking perfect questions, interjecting very well. So I thank you. I thank you for reaching out to me. And we're glad to have you.
And the other part of it too, I think, you find out about yourself through other people's journey.
Exactly. From Friday to today, I've learned about myself within myself that I'm just so proud of the cerebral palsy community. I mean, for a while I walked away because there's some people in the cerebral palsy community that I just can't deal with. But then I missed it because there's other people in the cerebral palsy community like you three that are just so amazing and that can teach me so much.
Right.
And it takes growth in yourself. And I said yesterday, or I said the day before, and I meant it. The change in you from now, living on your own and succeeding and getting your own apartment and sharing your story, and even the way you've asked questions and interjected, with the people today, like Miss Winnie said, and I second that. It's been awesome. The growth in yourself to realize, hey, I need to take a step back. Let me get myself together. Let me come back when I'm ready. That's okay.
Yeah.
That is the right way to do it.
Basically, that's with what Nihal said too. It's okay to not be okay. So she wasn't okay, so she needed that moment to step away. But she came back.
And came back stronger and better than ever because she took care of herself.
Of that mental break too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's kind of what we covered when we first came on. Mental stability and mental toughness is hard because we are constantly pop. Things are coming and things are happening. Disabled or not, differently abled or not. You've got things that happen throughout the day that and you get all these hits. And sometimes you just got to shut down and recharge. And I know with all that you got on your plate, Lord have mercy, sometimes you just gotta squash it because it is all right to step back. And I understand that it's okay to step back, but the realization of I need to step back is great because that is also growth within yourself to admit and accept that you're not okay at the time.
Right.
But you don't want to stay there and hover over that and let it hover over you in your life. You want to move past it and figure out how.
It was truly a middle break. That's literally what that was. It was a middle break, and she had to just take away
And then
regroup.
It also pressured me that like I was seeing these people that were aiming for the stars and that wanted all the popularity or like I want this I have this so many followers because I know everything, but it's like you don't know everything. That's why you need to be open minded and go into
That part.
because as people with disabilities, we do want a validation, more of a validation than other people because we want to prove ourselves to the able bodied community.
Right.
I think within the cerebral palsy community, we kind of bump heads because we all want that validation of being like, we all want that validation of rising, see, having the able bodied community seeing that we rise above our disabilities and you get cocky in what you do, you get selfish in what you do, and I feel like I was getting to that point because I felt like I had to compete against other people.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. What do both of y'all? Let's start with Nihal. What you got to say with that about that? I see you was going to say something too.
That's why you have to listen, learn, and adapt. Those 3 words about yourself are the key words that I have learned about myself over the years, and not only today. I'm still learning. I'm still adapting. I'm still listening to myself and my body, or listening to others and then adapting my my possibilities or my abilities, or listening to the doctors, or like saying, fighting for myself, but listening and learning about to take the step back and to just reevaluate the capabilities I have, and reevaluate what people think of me, and then go push harder the next day, or the next month, or the next year, you know?
That I agree 100%. But with and with validation too, to one thing Miss Winnie has always said, and I had to kind of learn this, and she's had to say it a couple of times. When I used to do my shows and I used to go on Facebook and YouTube, I used to always look at numbers. How many? How many? How many? How many?
Doing too.
And I want to see who's watching. I want to see who's commenting. Here's the thing. And again, this is that nugget of information that I'm talking about. She looked at me and she said, "Don't look at the numbers." And I'm like, "Miss Winnie, how do you do that? How do you talk when nobody is watching?" She said this: "Somebody can be watching you and not click on the video and you not know it." That's that nugget of information. That's where I'm talking about, where the little pieces of the puzzle that she has, because she's been through it, and she'll say, "Look, it's not about the numbers. As long as you deliver your message the best way you can, and you deliver it with everything that you have, and you give everything that you have, and you do the message with all that you possess, it's going to reach somebody. And when it does, whether it's 1 or 1,700,025, you've done your job if you reach that person, because you're giving your testimony or your story." And a lot of us compare. A lot of us try to compare. I want to be like that. I want to be like that. I've said before, in my martial arts journey, that's all I used to do. Before I became a black belt and before I learned, I want to be like that. I want to kick like that. I want to go like that. Sometimes you got to kick like you. Sometimes you got to tell your story like you, and not worry about what other people are doing. If you give your heart and your soul and what you say, somebody's going to listen. And when Miss Winnie brought it to me that way, and she said, "Somebody can be watching you and you not even know it," I kind of went, okay, it's not about the numbers. So now I don't even look at that right-hand corner. I don't look at the timer, because it's a distraction.
It is. It is. I get messages all the time. I was watching your live. Mm-hmm. And Winnie, you talked about this, but I didn't see them on there. That's why I say years ago, I've known this though. So that's why I never pay attention to it.
I just said for years.
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation twice now.
Yeah.
How do you not look at the numbers? Because the numbers don't matter.
And he got distracted again, even afterwards. That's why we had that conversation twice. Because, sometimes it can't bother you because you want it, but you're getting it. You just don't know you're getting it. You still get new people. Where you think the new people come from? Eventually, they're going to come live and let you know that they see you.
Right.
By responding or saying something. Man, I needed to hear this.
But the thing about it is, Miss Wayne, and I guess I used to be so stuck on it, I love the interaction. With this right here, the comments that people have left during this conference are spot on. And it's touching to hear from
It is. It is. It is. But you're getting it.
But,
You're getting it.
that's the
but,
other
but
point too.
the
Yeah.
comments are bonus to hear. We're not doing, and I have to keep this in mind. The comments are the bonus.
I like she said bonus. Go ahead.
We're not doing this for the comments. We're doing this for us. We're doing this for that one person that that we may change their life because of that one person. And one of the reasons why I took the break was because I lost the fact that my goal was to hit that one person and not that 1 million mark.
But, but the other part there is, and Miss Winnie taught me this too, and I said I've learned a lot from this lady sitting over here. When you get those comments and when you get those pieces, you have to acknowledge them.
And don't let it go to your head, because if you let it go to your head, you lose everything you're working for, because you become cocky and arrogant and you become the person you don't want to become.
Yeah, you're right, DJ. You have to definitely respond. Respond. When people make comments on your page, make sure you respond to them. Like it, love it, care, whatever you want to do, but let them know you see them acknowledging on what you're doing.
Because and this is what you always do. You always put yourself in the other person's shoes. And I love that. I've had to learn that I can give a message for one person, and I want to give it the same way for one as I would for 1 million. Because if I don't, I risk not touching that person the way that I can. But I had to see that here. And you know what? For me, I'll be honest. I'll be ripped open, honest, straight DJ. I wanted those people. I wanted to see that number 3,000, 6,000 K. I wanted to see that K come up on that screen.
Share, post, share, post. Flyers, share, post, share. Be consistent. Be consistent in that. Let me tell you something about that. So in the beginning, I was on Facebook all the time. And I used to do lives all the time. And I used to do all this. So I had a great connection. I had people always on. Every time my live pop up, people. When I disappeared for a while, you lose that. That algorithm in Facebook is terrible. And that's what it's all about. But when you're consistent, it's constantly happening. When you walk away for a while, you lose it. And you got to build all over again. But I'm okay with those that want to show themselves and those that don't want to show themselves, because that's not stopping me from doing what I do. It's not stopping me from being who I am and allowing this platform to have others come on and share, because I do get messages from that person, this, and that person said that. And I get messages about everybody that's been saying something, because it's somebody's relating, but it's that personal moment that people want to either pick up the phone or go in inbox and share that moment about somebody and how it helped them.
You know, that's the thing for me that blows my mind. And just to kind of piggyback off what you just said, I'll get a message from somebody I don't know, I've never seen. And they're like, man, you did this and you said this and your story did this and I gotta, and I'm like, what? Really?
And I've talked to so many people around the world that have amazing stories, but they're too shy to just come on and relate. I mean, there's a man that I talked to once, and he's just like DJ, loves sports and everything, and he just the most amazing man I could for me, because he fully believes in what he preaches. And then there's another person that is, I mean, there's so many people out there that just hide who they are,
Yeah.
what they support. And with me, I feel like you should support more of the underdog than the ones that step out and, you know, step out and want the spotlight.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
Well,
you have to have passion in what you believe.
you do.
That is one thing Miss Winnie does not lack. I don't care if it's painting her nails, doing her hair,
Lord, I wish I had some.
talking about a conference or delivering a message is passion. You got to make it come out. That's how Neha got where she is. Passion.
Passion.
She
And going, not letting nothing stop her.
has to have it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we talked about, and I love the topic that I picked this year about getting in your own way, because so many people stop themselves before they ever start their journey because they put themselves down, or they push themselves in front of an obstacle that they created. And I'm like, man, that's
or they even, sorry, DJ.
No, go ahead, sweetheart.
They even put a barrier on themselves, and then they can't pull out of there.
Exactly. Now you got to figure out how you're going to get out of it.
And that's when the depression sits in and you go down that black hole, and it's all about pulling yourself up out of the black hole that makes you stronger than when you went in the black hole.
Right.
It's easy to fall. The hard part is getting back up and continuing.
But I think with us, with CP, especially the three of us, falling is a part of our lives. Getting up is a part of our lives. So we know how to get up when we fall. We know.
Speaking of falling, I got to share this with y'all real quick. I'm sorry, Marie. So
Yeah.
I had a dream because I was sleeping real good. I was tired yesterday. Every day since Sunday, actually, I think I started Saturday helping my daughter clean, pack, all this every day. And then we started moving. So every day after this, I've been cleaning and helping move and putting away stuff. And it's just been a lot. And last night I didn't get home until about 10:30. I was so tired, drained, exhausted, and some before it even happened, before 10:30. It was like right after my show yesterday. I was tired, like exhausted. But I said, no, my daughter needs help. So I went on over there after everything and helped her. But anyway, this dream I had last night, I must have been sleeping so good. And I don't know. Oh, I know I was going to respond to DJ message like 3-4 times. And I was so tired, I couldn't even pick up the phone. So I think DJ was in my head subconsciously when I went to bed, when I went to sleep. So I was tripping that I had this dream. So at first I was like, how did DJ come in my dream? But that's what it is. That's what it was. He had sent me like 3 messages and I didn't respond to either one, but I was so tired that I just couldn't even pick my phone up.
That's why I got 4 messages this morning.
Yeah, it was a reply for each one of your messages. So my dream was, I don't remember exactly where we were at, but we were in this place somewhere. I don't remember where we were at, but it seemed like a event or something we were at. So they had the chairs set up one stack behind each other, right? And DJ was sitting up there beside me and Corey and Kelly. And it was this person in back of us where I was sitting on the end, and DJ was sitting next to me, and then it was Kelly and Corey, and and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So this person kept saying stuff and running their mouth, and and DJ was firing up, and I'm like, DJ, ignore them, don't pay them no attention, right? And DJ was just getting red. I was like, oh, this boy ready to say something. And so this guy in the back just kept running his mouth. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't pretty. And I was like, DJ, don't pay attention to them. I said, you got to learn to be humble and know people like that. And DJ, he just wasn't feeling it. And I remember once Corey looked over, he said, baby, let him have his way. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to let him have his way. Not with me, so I just be humble, DJ. So this guy said something else. And DJ said, if you say one more thing, I will get out this chair and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to, and all that, right? Bleep, 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 bleep. And yeah. And I said, DJ, no, you ain't got to do all this. So this guy tried DJ. So DJ stood up out his chair and he stood there and DJ was like, da, da, da. I was like, I said, DJ, do you realize what you're doing? I said, you're standing alone by yourself. DJ looked like, and he fell out. He looked and said, and he fell out because he was just shocked that he wasn't standing up on his chair. He was standing on the floor. And I was like, DJ, do you realize what you're doing?
Wow.
He didn't realize because of the anger and the madness and him wanting to just get after this guy and shut him up. He didn't realize he had literally got out of his chair.
Wow.
And when he realized it after I said something, he looked down, he fell out. He fell out because he was shocked that he was just like, all I saw was, that's all I saw. And we had to wait for him to wake up. And because he literally went out, I
was so mad.
Yeah. And so actually the funny part, the guy along with Corey helped DJ get back in his chair.
I'm not going to comment on that one. I'm just going to.
Isn't that something that, like, I don't know, DJ, maybe it's change get ready to happen or something, or
while we're live, let me say this. I'm holding up the number 2. It's not a peace sign. The reason I'm holding up the number 2, there's a young, well, he's an older guy now. He was my youth leader back when I was in Waynesboro, and he's 80.
Let's try to hurry up because I want to cut off at 3.
I got you. So he's 83, and he said, you know what? My dream is to see you walk before I die. And he told me about a dream he had. The dream was not about, but what happened is I stood up and didn't realize I was standing up. This second time, if you saw my mouth dropped when you said, DJ, do you realize what you do? Because he said something. And I went, and once the realization hit, I felt like it scared me. I guess it scared me.
Yeah.
And I fell or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You're the second person to do that. You're the second person to tell me, DJ, do you realize? And it was anger. And I could see myself after 1, 2, 3. You say one more thing. And because I got patience, but I'm waiting. No, DJ,
That's just what he did. You say something else. You say, I'm going to get out this chair and I'm going to come back there. And I was like, DJ, DJ, don't pay them no attention. But DJ, he said, I'm going to stand up out this chair and I'm coming back there. Before he get all of that, and I said, he's standing up. And then I was like, DJ, it was so funny. I couldn't believe that, but it was in my subconscious mind because I know I didn't respond. And I responded to Marie after I got to my daughter's house because I didn't realize Marie had said a few things as well. And I'm like, I think I was just so mentally drained
Yeah.
And when Deborah got off, I sat in my chair and I was like, like
That's what inboxes are for. Answer them when you can.
And I saw your, oh my gosh, I didn't see this. I didn't see this. That's what you, yeah.
So anyway, y'all, let's leave with some remarks, some comments, and we be back at 4:00 with John, DJ Smooth, and then we can that's it for today. That's it for today. Because I had moved some people around. So all right, Neha, let's start with you.
Okay, I want to say this. I want to say confidence comes from you. So you have to go out of your way to spread your wings, like I said again earlier, a half an hour ago. But Miss Wilson wanted me to come back because I guess you guys were having this conversation on confidence with some other individuals. So she wanted me to come back, but all I'm gonna say is confidence comes within you, and you're the person who has to get on your ship and ride it through it, and you will see the end of the tunnel.
All right, DJ.
I'm going to just say it only takes one. Very rarely you get a chance in your life to touch an individual. And when you have that opportunity, take it. Because if you can change one life with a story that you share or a testimony that you share, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed 4:00. We want to come back, but there's no guarantee of how much time we have left. Mm-hmm. Take your chance to inspire the people that you can inspire, and do it for the right reason. Don't worry about the numbers or what you're going to get. Do it from here. Do it from here and inspire that person and change your life only the way
you have a message. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't say because you have a message. You said don't do it because, and I was like, because you have a message. That's why you want to do it.
I mean, exactly. Do it because you have a message. That's why I stopped. She took words. I just
Okay, Marie.
If you find yourself in the black hole, pick yourself up and come back stronger and forget what you went in that black hole for.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to say, everybody has a story. Everyone has a story, and people are waiting on you. If you're that one sitting in the background, just release it. Just do it in fear. Do it in fear. We will be there with you, whomever it is that will be with me or myself. Choices are yours. Mm-hmm. If you have a desire to want to speak at one of our events that we put on, and you're afraid, and you say, I could do it, but I need somebody with me. You could say who you want with you. If that would make it better or easier for you, I don't have no problem with that. But your story matters. Mm. So sharing is caring, and sharing is helping someone else. So if you have something that you can share with someone else that you know that can lift, inspire, motivate, or encourage someone, reach out to me and let's share your story.
I like how you went downstairs on Bibiana though. She said stay, and you went because you're gonna get them to be confident. You gonna.
She was doing very well. Biana didn't need us, just like Neha didn't need us. You and Marie don't need nobody. So she had this, and I was like, she got this. Let's go. Let's just go. Hit the button. So that's what I did. But if someone needs someone to speak with them or be there with them, I have no problem. What matters to me is that your voice be heard. You have a voice, use it, and let somebody else know that they too could do the same thing. Mm-hmm. It takes a village. Let's create that village. Let's create the village and just make it happen. We'll see y'all back at 4 o'clock with DJ Smooth. And y'all enjoy your lunch break or whatever you got to do. And see y'all back. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.